All right. Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, February the 5th. Um, it's cloudy, 50 degrees here in Columbia, South Carolina. There are going to be some protests around the country today, depending on where you live. I think most of them are going to be around the capitals of each state. I know Columbia, South Carolina has one that's planned for uh, 2 to 4 p.m. At the Capitol building here in Columbia. So I imagine that a lot of them have been coordinated the same around the country. Um, I don't know. I fully believe in the First Amendment and our right to uh, peaceably protest. And I figure that it'll, for the most part, I think a lot of these are going to be peaceful, peaceably. Is that a word? Peaceably a word? Anyway, peaceful protests around the country today, uh, for you know a lot of what I guess we see going on with the administration and some of the stuff going on with politics and what it is right now. Um, I had a I don't know what to describe it as. Um, I'm looking it up right now in the news. Um, Apparently, there was a bill uh, that was put before Congress by Representative Andy Biggs, Arizona congressman, has introduced a bill to abolish the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. That is OSHA. Wants to abolish OSHA. So I guess the belief is that OSHA is a federal agency that is operating outside of the budget or just costs too much to run. Literally, this is an organization, this is an agency under the United States that is designed to protect workers by creating regulations and such that are designed to keep us all safe at work. And is the belief that companies are just going to take it upon themselves? I'm not saying that some won't, but uh see, Kansas dude, that's a Kansas dude. That's an OSHA violation right there. I suspect if you did that at work, uh, that might be an OSHA violation. That's funny. Um, so I look, I am all in favor of recognizing that there is obviously a lot of government bloat. There is a lot of federal government uh, programs and things that our money gets spent on that uh, needs to be audited. We need to we need to have uh, some sort of an audit situation where um, where we as the citizens of this country get uh, reports. We have the availability of reports on how much things are costing and uh, why um, why we're spending money on some things and such. Which we as citizens we can look through the bills. We can see where the money's being spent. But this slash and burn way of running a country. And again, this isn't because it's Donald Trump. And yes, I am not a Donald Trump fan. I didn't vote for him, but uh, if it was if Kamala Harris had been elected and she was doing these things, um, I would absolutely raise a flag on these. This is an improper way. Yeah, the inspectors general, the 17 or 18 inspectors general that were forcibly removed from their jobs, despite the fact that the president doesn't even have the power to fire them without giving one cause and two 30 days notice. These inspectors generals are literally the watchdogs of the federal government to make sure that the federal government is that the agencies and departments are doing and working the way that they are designed to, based on whatever the creed is that they were built on. But you fire the inspectors general, you're basically firing the guys that are supposed to be watching over these departments to make sure. I worked for a company years ago that was because of a security risk that they had found in our literally in our network, our office network. They had found a security risk. The inspectors general came in and shut down our office for more than 2 months while they went through, and because we were on a federal contract, but they came and shut down our office because of a network security issue that they had found. And when that was resolved, the office opened back up. um, but it was that's what they do. That's what their office is in designed. That's what the office is designed to do. That's what these people do. And the fact that Donald Trump made the decision to just come in and unilaterally remove these 17, 18, whatever inspectors general is, I think, again, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican or an independent or whatever, these are things that should be concerning. These are the kind of maneuvers that you see pulled by, the D word, and maybe not the D word you're thinking of, but dictators. Um, it's these are concerning maneuvers that anyone who recognizes the organizational structure of how our federal government has operated for decades and decades. These are things that I think should be concerning, and abolishing uh, abolishing the Occupational Safety and Health Administration is, I don't understand that move. So I'm going to read some of this article from the HIPAA Journal. OSHA is a federal agency, part of the Department of Labor, which was established by the Occupational Safety and Health Act, which was signed into law by Richard Nixon, a Republican, on December 29th, 1970. The role of OSHA is to assure American workers have safe and healthy working conditions free from unlawful retaliation. OSHA sets and enforces workplace safety standards, provides training, and enforces anti retaliation provisions of the OSHA Act. OSHA also works with state programs established to improve workplace safety. OSHA recently published data that revealed that there were 5,283 workplace fatalities and 1,538,299 injuries and illnesses in 2023. I think this is important information that we need to have access to. And without OSHA, uh, without having OSHA, where's that watchdog? Where's that organization that's gonna it's just these are concerning times. um Quote, OSHA's existence is yet another example of the federal government creating agencies to address issues that are more appropriately handled by state governments and private employers, is what Representative Biggs says. Where's the money in state government to handle this? Truly, where is what state budget is going to be able to accommodate creating maybe California, New York, Texas, Florida, Georgia, maybe Illinois? Yeah, okay. So 6 states out of 50 could potentially have money in their budgets to create an agency like this for their I just, it doesn't make sense. President Trump promised in his campaign to curtail the power of the federal agencies and has appointed uh, Elon Musk to head the Department of Governmental Efficiency, which, by the way, again, is not an official department. To be a department of the United States federal government, you have to, a government agency or department has to be created and budgeted by the Congress. And Congress has made no such bill or vote to create the Department of Government Efficiency. So we have a shadow government is what we do have. We have Elon Musk now having access to the federal payment system. He's got access to Social Security. He's got access to all of these things that normally would have required, and I don't know how it happened, normally would have required having background checks, uh, which I guess we're not doing anymore. So Elon Musk was able to bring on his six horsemen of the apocalypse. I don't know what they're calling them, but they're basically 19 to 27-year olds. There's six of them, and they're his horsemen is what somebody. It's such a weird time, and you know Republicans that voted for Donald Trump, and I respect your vote. I would, you voted for who you voted for. I voted for who I voted for, and ultimately that's because it's a free country. That's what we get to do. Um, doesn't mean I don't judge you for it, and you don't judge me for mine. I certainly recognize the differences, and people get to do what they want to do. But if Kamala Harris had been elected and she started appointing people to agencies that don't actually have any validity, that they don't really exist, and then started giving someone from outside the country, someone who's not from here, who could never run for president or vice president, giving them access to systems that our federal government controls without a background check, I have to believe you'd be flipping out if it was Elon Musk doing it for Kamala Harris. I have to believe you'd be freaking out. Pineapple Hut says if it for Elon, we would never heard of this corruption for years going on. Republicans are involved too, but what corruption has he found? Where I have not seen a single report or released statement indicating what the corruption is. Where's the report to make accusations like that? Um, Lily says the Biden money laundering was wild. Show me the report. That's all I'm saying. We know they're coming. So why shut down agencies? Why shut down agencies before releasing the report? Or release the report in conjunction with shutting down these agencies. I'm just asking, where's the report? Show me where the report was. If all of the if the Bidens were if there is evidence to support it, then absolutely. Then there should be an investigation and go after them. I have zero issue with that. Pineapple Hut says Trump committees will be investigated too. I mean, it's not about picking agencies. It's not about. It's not. It's not like a one for one thing. I don't care if it's a Trump agency or a Biden agency. That doesn't matter. If you legitimate that, but that's also what the inspectors generals were for. Like They were the watchdogs. They were the ones that were so RST says, so you think the Biden wasn't laundering money? I'm not saying I have an opinion on it one way or another until there's an actual report. Show me. So even though so Biden didn't pardon himself. He pardoned family members and people across the government that Donald Trump had specifically said were targeted. That Kash Patel, who is going to be the FBI director, had a list of individuals that were going to be targeted by Donald Trump. So Biden pardoned them. I don't agree with it. I think it was a dumb move to make. It makes him look like he's corrupt or that they're hiding something. I don't disagree. RST says, "Are you not a free thinker?" That you're not answering my questions. I am a free thinker. That's why I can say if Biden did something corrupt, then he should be investigated and charged. I don't have an issue with that. But there has to be an investigation before you can charge it. Charge someone for something. Donald Trump charged, convicted of 34 individual felonies because they did an investigation. They didn't put him in jail before the investigation. They didn't put him in jail at any point. He's president of the United States. He can do and say and act however he wants to do because, people like RST are out here defending him, right? I mean, I assume the argument's going to be that Donald Trump didn't do any of those things. Well, a jury found him guilty based on the evidence. And you can say that you didn't like the jury. You can say you didn't like how the case was handled. There you go, pineapple. Investigate me too. And you know what? If I was doing something wrong, investigate me. But that's a stupid thing to say. Again, I'm asking, where's the report? Where is the investigation into these different departments? And all you do I trust the government? I don't I don't trust them to support me or my daily life, especially this government. But I think for the most part, the government just operates. We are all there. You go. Thanks, Bill. But w- y- uh, do I trust the government? I don't have any reason not to trust the government. Whether it was Trump 4 years ago. I mean, did I trust that they had my best interests? It's the government. They don't care about me. They want me to pay my taxes. That's it. So, you know, it's just it's the dumbest. I'm sorry. I I I try to think what it would be like to have Thanksgiving dinner with some of the people that show up in the comments with the most absurd comments. I mean, the retorts don't work. Um, it is it's concerning to me that there is a large minority in our population that has disconnected themselves from reality. And you can say the same thing about me that I've disconnected myself from reality. But I'm I've always been a fairly astute observer, and yeah, the government does not have your best interests at heart, no matter who the president is. And I agree. They just want me to pay my taxes. That's it. Pay my taxes. Don't commit crimes. Don't harm people. It's quite literally the simplest way to live your life, and people don't seem to be super capable of it. Trump said he would retaliate against anyone he felt was disloyal, and he did. And he's got several people out there that are acting on his behalf to make sure that that happens. Whether it's the Kash Patel, who will very likely be the next FBI director, or the woman from Florida who is the Attorney General, Pam Bondi. Um, these are uh, these are organizations which, say what you will, these are organizations that will report directly to the president, where the Attorney General has never been, or the position of Attorney General has never been intended to be one that was used as a tool of the president in order to um, go after his political adversaries. So, but Donald Trump has made it clear that he will use all of the tools of the federal government to go after his political enemies. And that is you can quote me on that because he said it. I mean, he said he wouldn't too, but he also said that he would. So, yeah, this is where we're at. So, I highly uh, object to the removal of OSHA in this bill presented by the reputable Andy Biggs, who is a schmuck. Um, but Andy Biggs is you know every meeting with Trump he's got to wipe his chin, just saying. All right, well, it's time for me to get to work. I appreciate everybody that followed. I appreciate everybody that joined. Thank you for the comments. I get uh, that we all have different opinions, but I'll just say this: if you have ever been injured at work and a report wasn't made to OSHA, it was at the detriment of you and your health. And it should have been reported because OSHA is a valid department. In my opinion, we can have different opinions, but you know, is what it is. So, Corsi says OSHA is wound up way too tight, hinders economic growth. Yeah, I would again produce a report. Show me where OSHA is hindering economic growth. That's all I'm saying. You can't make statements like that without having some validity of proof based on data. That's all I'm saying. Same with shutting down USAID. The fact that USAID is a United States basically outreach department that helps to protect people around the world, because in the end it helps to protect us. And the idea that USAID is some sort of a corrupt government agency is just crazy to me. That again, all it take I am I the fact that for some of us, not me, probably not a lot of you, but the fact that for some of us, all it takes is Donald Trump mumbling it out of his mouth and you just completely believe it. I'm dumbfounded at how you can believe that this man knows everything about everything, even though he's 78 years old. He is the oldest man to ever be elected president, ever in the history of our country. I know a lot of people in those portraits look like they were old when they were elected, but they were not. They were not 78. Uh, and everything he says, you believe. And did I believe everything that Biden said? No, I didn't. I don't believe everything that Donald Trump says. I didn't believe everything that Obama said. I think Obamacare is basically pandering to the insurance companies. That's essentially what it did. It gave insurance access to more subsidies from the federal government by having availability of lower cost insurance. Did it benefit a lot of people? Yeah. Millions of people have benefited from Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act or whatever you want to call it. But it was pandering to the major insurance companies because they're the ones that basically run it. It isn't the public option that we need as far as healthcare in the United States. And we need healthcare to stop just treating symptoms and actually healing people. So, looking at the comments. I guess you all are talking to yourself. And I'd love to sit here and let you do it, but I have a job to get to. And I'm not sure who you're asking if you're saying you believed everything Kamala said. No, I don't believe everything anybody says. I don't. I'm skeptical of everything that if it doesn't make sense to me, yeah, I'm going to question it. It's it should be a natural part of our evolution. Is that if something seems wrong or off, then we should question it and we should ask for proof. But again, this administration has not provided any proof as to why any of these departments should be shut down. They've only made the accusation. That's all I'm saying. And if you can't acknowledge that, then, maybe consider sitting out of the next election, potentially. Anyway, as best as possible, y'all, um, stay safe, be kind, and try to keep your hands to yourself. Excuse me.